Final Fantasy, a series that spans across many games, many console generations, and many decades. And for my first Final Fantasy series on this channel, we're going to go all the way back to the game that started it all. Here we go. The world is veiled in darkness, the wind stops, the sea is wild, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait, their only hope, a prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 warriors will come. After a long journey, 4 young warriors arrive, each holding an orb. And with that, hello and welcome to Final Fantasy. I am playing, of course, as you saw on the original NES version, and there are a lot of newer versions of this game. There's stuff on the PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance, even on mobile devices, but for my very first Final Fantasy Let's Play, it felt right to me to go back to the very beginning. So here we are. The first thing I want to do is choose the respawn rate. Basically, when we are in battle and text box pop up, the respawn rate is going to choose how fast those scroll by. If we go up to 8, it's going to be extremely fast. That is the fastest in the game. If we go all the way down to 1, it'll be mind-bogglingly slow. I strongly recommend you do not go with 1. I'm going to go with 6. It's fast enough that it's not sluggish, but slow enough that you can actually see the text without it just blipping out of here really quickly. So let's go ahead and choose respawn rate 6 and start a new game. And now it is time to build our party. Yes, Final Fantasy 1 lets you create your own party. We've got 6 different classes to choose from, so let's go over each of them. First off, we have the fighter. They are great at melee attacks. They're also very good on defense. And there's a thing in this game where, depending on the order of your party, well, basically the person at the very front of your party will get targeted by enemies 50% of the time. So having a fighter at the very front of your party is pretty much always a great idea. I'm definitely going to be using one. So let's go ahead and get a fighter, and let's go ahead and give them a name. I was going to name them Wahei, but unfortunately you can only use 4 characters for the name, so we're gonna have to cut a letter out. And we're gonna name them just Whey. This guy loves to lift, he loves his whey protein. Let's go, Whey. And next up, we could choose a thief if we wanted to. The downside to thieves is you might think they could steal items from enemies, but in this version of the game, they have no steal option. They are basically just a melee attacker with lackluster weapon choices, not that great of stats, and honestly until pretty late in the game, they're just not that good. So next up we have Black Belt. In the Japanese version, these guys are also called Monk. These guys are mostly hand-to-hand fighters. They can punch stuff, it's really awesome. Early on, they will use some weapons, but in the long run, just having them with no equipment at all is actually really good. And the reason that's important is equipment is very expensive in this game, and the fighter's equipment in particular is going to cost a lot. So having a character that we don't have to spend a lot of money on is going to be really nice, so I definitely want a black belt. Great damage, and very cheap to have. So let's get one, and we're going to name them Ken, Fist of the South Star. No relation to Fist of the North Star. There we go. So, the fighter, the black belt, and the thief are the 3 main melee attackers, but we also have mages. We've got red mage, we've got white mage, and we've got black mage. So let's go over those. White mage is basically your classic healer. Pretty weak on defense, pretty weak on physical attacks, but they're going to be able to get some heals. They're going to be able to get ways to remove status effects and boost defenses, things like that. So they're very handy to have. Definitely going to have one. So we're going to go ahead and get a white mage. And we can change the order of our party a bit later, so I'm going to do that after we build the party here. And this guy's going to be named Dr. W. Is it Dr. White? Or Doctor Who? Or is he a brand of soda? Nobody knows. It is a mystery with probably no answer. And our final character, we could go for a red mage or a black mage. Now, there's a problem with the black mage, and that is that they naturally have the highest intelligence stat, which is presumably meant to boost their spell damage, but there's a problem. The intelligence stat in this version is bugged. A lot of stuff in this version is bugged. Intelligence is bugged, so the black mage does not really get any extra spell damage over the other mages. The other thing is red mage can learn a mixture of white and black magic, and they have way better defense and way better physical attacks. I think a red mage is a lot better of a choice, so we're going to go with a red mage. There are some spells that they cannot learn that a black mage can learn, but overall I think they're a much better option. So, I'm going to go ahead and name them Red. It might not seem very creative, but Just don't tell him that, dude. Red will let you know that he had this name way before that stinking Red from Pokemon got the name Red. So, there we go, guys. That is our team, and let us start this adventure. And the game just drops us right in, right here. The first thing I want to do is get you guys familiar with the menu. You can see on the left we have 400G, which you could call gold, or you could call gil, which is kind of the Final Fantasy way of talking about money. You can see our levels and some stats, and at the bottom you'll see magic with a bunch of numbers, which we'll talk about in a bit. We also have items, or a lack of items, and we have a weapon and an armor menu. You can see each character has their own individual inventory, and as you can see right now, they are very empty, so we desperately need to get some equipment. One thing I want to do first is show off that if we press select, we can change the order of our party. The person who is in the front will take 50% of the attacks from enemies, the second slot is 25%, and the last two slots are 12.5% each. So we really want our tankiest two up front. For now, the tankiest two are going to be Ken and Red and Wei, and later on Ken will be more tanky than Red, but for now we're going to leave it like this. So there's our assortment. But one other thing, depending on who you have in front, that is going to be the sprite you see on the overworld. So there's Red's sprite, there is Ken's sprite, and there is Dr. W's sprite. But prepare to see Wei in front for pretty much the entire game, because, well, he's the fighter. And now that I've got you guys caught up on all the basics, let's go ahead and start our adventure. Don't worry, there's not going to be too much standing around and talking about mechanics. The game is relatively simple in the long run. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? I don't know, do I? I'm pretty sure that guy right there says the same thing, so we'll go right up the stairs and let's go and talk to the king. I think this guy says the same stuff as well. He does, that's fine. So let's go talk to the king. Light warriors, just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped the princess. Please help her! And he's not going to tell us where she is. How the crud am I going to help you if I don't even know where to go? Well, if we go down to the bottom left, there's a different character just standing here, and this guy is a lot more handy. Reports say that Garland holds the princess in a temple to the northwest, so that is where we need to go. Of course, we need to go into town and, get some equipment first. That's probably important. But let's explore the castle a little bit more. No, not going to talk to that guy. There's a little glitch up this way, so for some reason there's an invisible character right here. Where are you? Right there. We can talk to him. The princess was looking for you. You mean the princess that got kidnapped? I mean, I think there's another princess. Garland used to be a good knight until what? We'll never know, probably. Oh well. Let's go talk to this lady. Hey, buddy. Please save the princess. Okay, I'm trying. Get off my back, dude. Well, I've got very wide shoulders, don't I? Well, we're gonna go down here and talk to this dude. In sadness, the queen locked herself inside. Except it's not really locked, so we can just go right in and talk to her. I am Jane, queen of Corneria. Or Corneria. Please save my daughter, Princess Sarah. I'm pretty sure it's Corneria in some translations, but in this one, I guess it's Corneria. So there's that. There's one more thing that's important up there. There's that old dude. We'll walk over to him in a second. We got one more little building, or little side area to check out. And this is just, I guess, the princess's sister, which I think makes her also a princess. I don't really know how monarchies in Crud work. But let's go fast forward over to that dude in the back. Whoa, whoa! Come on, we walked all the way over here. You gotta say something cool. 400 years ago, the treasury was locked by the mystic key. Our ancestors gave the key to the Prince of Elfland for safekeeping. Yeah, this game is very, very fantasy-y. There's gonna be elves and dwarves and all that kind of classic fantasy crud. This guy says the same thing, and there are the locked gates. And with that, guys, we have fully explored the castle. So let's get out, and let's go check out the town. And after we get some equipment, we can go and try to save the princess. Why not? So to get to town, we just walk to any of these little town tiles, and that'll take us right inside. So, are you going to tell me the name of this wonderful town? This is Corneria, the Dream City. Wow. Up here we have an inn. Inns are used to heal, and they're also used to save your game. That's one of the only ways you can save your game. There is another way we'll get to at some point, but yeah, it's one of the main ways to save your game. Warriors, revive the power of the orbs. I don't know how he knows that about me, that we're warriors. This is a well. You might think that there is something to it, but in fact it is just an ordinary well. Okay, so right here we've got some armor and some weapon shop. Let's go inside the armor one first. And get the awesome shop music. So good. That guy's got a sick beard. And let's go ahead and buy. Now right here we've got some choices. We could buy cloth, which would be good armor for our white mage, or we could buy the wooden armor for our black belt. The thing is, in this game, when you equip armor, you get higher defense, but your chance to dodge goes down. So for the characters in the back row who are not going to be targeted that often, I'm just going to go ahead and save my money and not buy that stuff, and instead we'll go buy some chainmail. We'll get that for Wei, and we'll also get one for Red, because they're going to be taking most of the hits, hopefully. And the thing is, the monk is going to get defense equal to his level if he has no equipment on. It's kind of a monk benefit, or a black belt benefit. So by having no equipment, yeah, he'll have a lot of defense by default anyways pretty quickly. Now here we can get some weapons. The wooden staff and the small dagger are basically weapons for the black mage. For the white mage, I want to get an iron hammer, so let's give that to Dr. W. And for the red mage and for the fighter, I want to get the rapier, so we'll go ahead and give them that. For some reason, the weapons are way cheaper than the armor, and I am going to go ahead and buy the wooden nunchucks for the black belt as well. Eventually, we will want him to fight with bare hands, but until I think level 8, it's better to have an actual piece of equipment on him. So we have to go into the menu, make sure we equip everything individually, go down to armor, get that all equipped as well. And for armor, we're good, but we still have 200 gold left over, so let's go find a place to spend that at. Right up here, we've got a place to buy black magic and white magic. Please save the princess. So I know I'm kind of info dumping you guys a lot at the start of the game, but it is important. Once we get these basic mechanics down, the rest of the game will go pretty smoothly. So on the right side, you can see we have magic 2, 0, 0, 0, all that stuff. Same with Dr. W. This game does not have a mana or an MP system. Instead, we have spell charges. So basically what those numbers mean, the 2 means we have 2 spell charges for level 1 spells. We could use 2 level 1 spells and then it'll be down to 0. We can use 0 level 2 spells, 0 level 3, all the way up to level 8. This town sells level 1 spells, so we could buy level 1 spells. We could use them twice before we have to go to an inn to heal back up and all that kind of stuff. So, let's go buy some level 1 spells. Right here, we could buy some black magic, and we could buy fire, a basic fire attack. We got lit, which is lightning, a basic lightning attack. We also have lock, which is bugged and doesn't work, so don't worry about that. And we've got slep, which is sleep, and the sleep status effect is also bugged. Enemies will always wake up very quickly, so don't bother with that either. I do want to eventually come back and get fire for my red mage, but for now I want to focus on buying black magic, or white magic I mean. So we're going to go down to Dr. W, and we're going to buy them the Cure spell, a basic healing spell. We also have Harm, which is it's an attack that will damage undead enemies, and it hits all enemies, instead of just hitting like a single target like fire or lightning would. We also have Fog. We could use that to boost the defense of a party member. And we have Ruse, which will greatly increase evasion, but you can only use it on yourself, and considering the white mage is not going to get targeted that often, I would rather not waste my turn on that for now. So we're going to go ahead and buy Cure, and we're going to buy Cure for red as well. The last thing I want to note here is you can only have 3 spells of each level. So there's 4 white magic spells right here, but on my white mage, I can only pick 3 of them. So keep that in mind. And for the red mage, I gotta balance it between black and white magic. I can only have 3 in total. So just keep that in mind. That is very important. So with that, we're done buying stuff. Let's go talk to this dude. Lucan left this town to join his colleagues at Crescent Lake. Sounds pretty fancy. All right. Let's go down this way, and let's talk to this guy. We have another shop up here. The king is sure that someday the Light Warriors will come to save the princess, just as in Lucan's prophecy. A lot of characters talking about Lucan's prophecy. Right here we have a clinic. I think in Japanese it's a temple, but they kind of censored any kind of religious symbol, imagery or whatever, so now it's a clinic. Basically, if one of your characters get knocked out, you gotta go here to revive them. Please save the princess, I will. And down here we just have an item shop. We could buy healing potions, antidotes, things like that. Hey buddy, my home is Provoca, a beautiful port city far east of here. Alright, that's I guess cool, but we're gonna go focus on saving the princess. The first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to buy that harm spell on the white mage. Oh, let's go get to our first battle here. So we've got a few options. We could run away, which I will not do. I'm not a chicken, dude. So instead, we could use drink, which is how we could use I guess a healing potion. We got item, which we can change our equipment mid-battle if we want to. We've got magic, which I cannot use on my fighter. And of course, we have fight, which is a basic attack. The only thing to note about the attacks in this game is that there's no auto-targeting. So what that means is if I dump all of my attacks onto one dude, if I kill that guy, all the other characters are just going to swing at the air. So I have to spread out my attacks to try to avoid that happening. So we'll spread all of our attacks out. Imps are the weakest enemy in the game, so most of these characters will be able to one-shot. I think even my white mage could one-shot right now. But we're gonna miss. And they miss us too, so that works out very nicely. So let's keep attacking right here. So yeah, my goal right now is to get up to 130 gil, because that'll give me 100 so I can go buy the harm spell for my white mage, and it'll give me 30 excess gold, which I can use to rest at the inn to get healed up. Another thing is I want to get up to level 2. The area we have to go to save the princess is not that challenging. We could do it at level 1, but we're gonna rely less on luck if we get to level 2 to help us out there. So we'll go ahead and defeat our first battle. And after beating a battle, we're going to get money. We get 7 experience and 30 gold right there. Some games call it gil, some call it gold, but I guess for this game it is gold. So let's keep walking around. If I run into just imps again, I'll cut it out. But if we find some new enemies, I'll be sure to show those. And it's just imps, so I'll just cut this out. I'll talk more in depth about how the overworld works a little bit later. I don't want to dump more than I need to, because I'm dumping a lot on you guys in this first episode, but the reason I'm walking above the castle instead of below it is there's actually different encounter tables, different stuff we can encounter depending on where in the overworld we are. So below the castle, we can only encounter imps, but higher up, we should be able to encounter different enemies. Of course, right now, I'm just getting lots of imps, so let me defeat these guys real quick. Man, I'm fighting a lot of big groups of imps, so we're getting very close to my goals without even fighting any different enemies. Real quick, I'm going to go to my magic. We can use our magic to heal up, whether we're inside a battle or not. So I want to heal up Dr. W. He was down to 14, maybe a little bit uncomfortable there. Let's keep looking. I'm hoping we can find some new enemies here. There's a couple different things we could encounter, so I'd like to show them off if possible. And here we've got, oh, we got wolves, okay. So these guys are a little bit tougher and a little bit more rare, but they're also going to give us better stuff if we defeat them. So I'll go ahead and spread out my attacks across the two of them, and we'll see how we do. Smack that guy, 18 damage, great stuff out of Ken. Even 14 out of Dr. W. Early on, wow, 33. Early on, Dr. W is not that bad at attacks, but in the long run, he's not going to be doing very much with physical attacks. All right. Not a lot of gold out of wolves, but decent experience. So I need to heal up again. Up to 102 on the gold, but if we check our status, 7 experience points left to go, so we're almost leveled up, almost at the gold that I want. I'm going to go ahead and use a spell charge on Dr. W to heal himself up. Now let's see if I can find 1 or 2 more new enemies and try to get up to that fabled level 2. Right here we've got more imps, gosh dang it. Well, one more battle will get me the goals that I had, but I was thinking I would get to show you guys some more enemies as we went. One of the enemies we could find is a more strong, or a more powerful imp, and we could also find something called a mad pony, which is a much stronger enemy, and usually there's only going to be one at a time. So after we defeat this, we will get level 2. One thing about this game is when you level up, it doesn't heal you, so we're going to have to go back to the inn to get all of our HP and all that stuff restored, which is a big reason why I want 130 gold, so that I can not only afford to buy a new spell, but also heal up because that costs 30. So let's go ahead and take out this final battle with the imps. We'll go buy that spell, heal up, and we're going to go try and save the princess. Down goes Mr. Imp, so here we go. We were only 1 experience point away from leveling up. That 7 will push us over the edge. And every time we level up, we'll get strength, agility, vitality, and sometimes you'll get intelligence or other stats as well. Oh, we also get some luck, pretty cool. So yeah, pretty basic role-playing stats. They do what you would probably expect them to do, nothing too fancy. There we go, get some intelligence, which is bugged. Okay, so we're gonna go back, buy that spell, and well, if we get a chance to show you guys the Mad Pony or the other imp variety, we'll show those at some point. But for now, not going to force it, because I don't want to get too overleveled or anything. Not that it really matters too much, but yeah, I'd rather keep things a little bit challenging here. So let's go ahead and go to Dr. W and buy the Harm spell. This is because the area we're going to go to will have some undead, and if we happen to run into a big group of them, Harm spell will target all of them and take them down super easily. Alright, so let's go and heal up right here. And I'm not gonna reset my game or anything like that, but if we do want to end our adventure for the day, that's how you gotta do it. So you gotta save up there. So let's wait for this lady to move. And let's make our way, guys. Let's start this adventure to save the princess. So we're gonna go up, and we're gonna go over to the left, because it's pretty much the only way we can go. And as we get further and further up, we will get to different encounter tables. I think right around here, maybe a little bit higher up, we are going to start encountering some new enemies. And, oh, well, there's one of the imp varieties I was talking about. We got GR Imp. I'm guessing that's like Greater Imp or something like that. Or Grand Imp. Something like that. I don't know, man. Maybe purple is the grape imp. I don't know. So defeat that guy, get more gold and more experience than a regular imp would give, but still a very easy enemy to defeat. And up here, we're also going to have Bone. Okay, with only 3, I'm not going to waste a spell charge on Harm, but yeah, these are enemies that we could use Harm on if we wanted to. They're pretty weak. They're not that hard to take out with just regular attacks, but if there's like 5 of them, it's probably worth going for Harm. Oh gosh, especially because melee attacks could just straight up miss. So let's try again here, get this Bone taken care of. I like to imagine he just like, I don't know, his sword is not a real sword. He just like ripped off his friend's leg or something and he's smacking you with it. All right. So we got those guys down. As you can see, not very much experience or gold from those guys. Oh well. Let's go inside the Temple of Fiends. And inside here, if we go directly up, there is Garland and the princess and a bunch of bats. We will save you, princess, but there's treasure to find, so hold on. We're going to go to the bottom left here because there's going to be some goodies to get. Let's go down and grab that crud. Get ourselves a cap. And every time there's a text box, it will reset the music, but that's fine. So I'm going to go down to armor and equip that cap to Wei. They'll just give us some extra defense there. You want lots of defense on Wei because they're going to be taking most of the hits. Sometimes you get unlucky and they don't take most of the hits. Oh wow, 4 wolves at once. And we cannot target these guys with the harm spell. Man, I don't even know if splitting all my attacks is good because I don't know if any of our guys are going to be able to one-shot a wolf. 17 damage out of Dr. W, not bad, but missing right there. 23, okay, Red was able to one-shot. Maybe Wei will also one-shot. Wei and Red, great defense, not taking a lot of damage. Wei's just gonna straight up miss, dude. Well, Red attack that one, and then these two can attack the one in the middle there. Yeah, wolves, as long as they attack our front guys, not doing a lot of damage, but you saw right there, 13 damage to Dr. W. So down goes that one, and of course Ken's just gonna swing in the air. Swing and a miss, dude. Got that guy. Come on, Wei, don't miss again. And we got him. Not too bad. Yeah, wolves, I like fighting wolves just because they give so much experience. Not as much gold as imps, I don't think, but actually, it's pretty similar. But anyways, we're going to go over here and get some more treasure inside this room. Not 1, but 2 treasure chests. We get ourselves a heal potion, which is basically just a potion that restores some HP. Pretty cool. And here we get a special item called Cabin. This item will allow us to rest up on the overworld as well as save our game. So a pretty valuable item. Got a spider, and the monster gets to strike first, but it's just 1 spider. So we'll just all focus them down with some attacks right here, and we should be good. We're gonna miss. That's not a good. Okay, get that 16. See, 1 damage, Wei's defense, so good. And there we go, some more damage. Down goes the spider. And spider, 7 and 8, not too bad for just being on its own. So we're gonna go over this way, and we're gonna go fight the dude and try to save that princess. Before we start the encounter, let's go and heal up a little bit here. Let's go to magic. I'm gonna use the spell charges over on Red, because mid-battle, I'd rather have Red attacking and Dr. W healing. So there we go. And bring it on, you crud. No one touches my princess! Light warriors, you impertinent fools! I, Garland, will knock you all down. Yes, treat us like bowling pins, dude. Just knock us over. Sure. So here we have Garland, and for the first round, we're just going to go ahead and spam attacks. If you decided to use a Black Mage, or if you learned a Black Magic spell on Red, feel free to start using it here. The main thing we want to do is just attack a lot, and if we get low on HP, like if we get 35 or less, heal up whoever takes that big damage, and go from there. This battle's not too bad. You can beat it at level 1, but at level 1, there's a good chance someone's going to die, and if a person dies in the battle, they're not going to get experience, and I really don't want my team to have different experience points. I want to keep them all the same if possible. Getting some good hits, also getting some misses, but so far he has not targeted my back row. As long as he doesn't target the back row and get some big criticals, I think we're going to be fine. Only 5 damage there. Come on, big hit. 9. Well, it's still not too bad. I think it's about time to heal up Wei, though, or we will just win. Yeah, as you can see, Garland, kind of a pushover, and for that, good experience and humongous gold. Awesome. We'll be able to buy lots of spells if we want to with that. We can also talk to the bats. They just say Kiki. There you go. And we'll go talk to the princess. So, you are the Light Warriors. Thank you. And she will teleport us right back to the castle. Very convenient. Hey, King. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. Go now and make the orbs shine again. I'll do my best, I guess. This loot has been passed down from queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as my gift. It just might come in handy. Thanks a lot, princess. And some of these characters will have slightly different dialogue, but nothing too important to say. Well, you know what? This guy down here helped us out with directions earlier on. Maybe he'll have something important to say. Nope, he doesn't. Alright, so I'm not going to talk to everyone. It's all pretty much the same, just talking about, hey, thanks for saving some crud. I will talk to the other princess and the queen, I guess, at the very least. And there's a couple characters with a slightly different dialogue. Oh, thank you for saving Princess Sarah. No problem, it's my whole mission in life, just saving princesses. And I want to talk to, is it this guy? So you're the light wearers? No, this guy, he says something interesting. So let's talk to this dude. Legend says that the loot can break the evil gate. So, I guess that might be important later on. We're gonna go down and talk to the other princess, and I want to talk to the guy outside as well, because he says something totally unrelated. Yes, sir, I belong to the honor guard of Castle Corneria. There you go. So, let's go talk to her. She says, my sister's back, thank you. And yeah, we are done with the castle, so let's go get out of here. Let's go back to town. I think what I'm going to do is buy the fire spell for my red mage. And let's see, how much money do I have to work with here? 335. Okay, I think we can make this work. So what I want to do is buy 2 antidotes, also known as pure potions, because there are going to be some enemies coming up a bit later on that can poison us. Tents, awesome for healing on the field, awesome for saving, but not going to buy any of those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and buy, not 1, but 2 pure potions, just to save our Heine if we need it later on. I don't have a ton of money to spare right now. You could buy some more defensive white magics for the white mage, but I think for now, I'm going to buy the highest value black magic spell. The enemy, or the type that's going to be the most valuable because most enemies are weak to it, it's going to be fire. So we're going to go ahead and buy fire for red. And now we've got 85 left over. I'm going to use that to heal and save my game at the inn, but I'm going to do that after I end the episode so that I can save in between recordings. So yeah, I will come back and I will heal at the inn, but that's going to have to wait. So for now, let's move on. And let's check out the bridge that the king said he built for us. And once we go across this bridge, that will officially start the game. Ah, crud! Or I'll just encounter a bunch of imps. Dude, I'm just gonna run. Leave me alone, you stinking imps, dude. Can't run. Close call. Yeah, each character has their own unique chance to run. All right, let's go across the bridge and get this Final Fantasy underway. And so, their journey begins. What awaits the four, they do not know. Each holding an orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. And there you go. And we'll get a bunch of credits right here as well. The classic Final Fantasy theme. Such a cool intro to this game. I know this first episode had a lot of info dumping about different game mechanics. You don't have to worry about memorizing it all or taking notes. I will try to reinforce some things as we go, as it's important. For now, guys, that is going to be it for our first episode of Final Fantasy. We'll come back next time, we'll go to the other side of the bridge, and we'll see what this world has to offer. I'll see you all then. Take care.